You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Welcome to the Hella Well with Danielle podcast, your weekly mental vacation for the busy woman who just needs a moment to pause, breathe, and woosah. And if there was ever a time to need to woosah, I feel like now is the time. I thought back and forth, do I talk specifically about what's going on in the world? And I was like, no, I don't. What it made me think about was that there's this phrase that I don't feel like we hear often enough. And it's, let's agree to disagree. I had a friend bring this up to me the other day, and I was like, oh, that's a great point. The art of agreeing to disagree. Because it seems like we've lost it. We lost it as a nation. We've lost it as a world. We've lost it just in general. This phrase, to agree to disagree, is so simple, but yet so powerful. It doesn't mean that you are saying like, I'm giving up and changing my ideals and my values or my mind. But it means that we can value human connection above dispute. It means that we can sit across from someone who we hella don't agree with, passionately just don't agree with, but still we can disagree respectfully and part on good terms. I just feel like it's lost. So today we're going to be talking about that because I personally feel worried that we don't have this and we're so quick to cancel everything and everyone that doesn't agree with or is in alignment with what we feel and what we value. But before we start, as I always love to do, take a moment and just put your hand, you could put both hands or just one hand on your heart and just breathe. Close your eyes for a second if you can. And inhale and exhale. Connecting to you, your heart, your humanity. It may feel a little bit crazy out there in the world, so I just want to take a moment just to go within and connect with ourselves, connect with our own love, giving ourselves the love and respect that we sometimes often give to other people and forget to give to ourselves. And take one deep inhale and sigh it out. And open your eyes as we continue on with this conversation about the lost art of agreeing to disagree. As I look around, I see a world where the cancel culture isn't just a buzzword anymore. It's literally a way of life. As a society, we're deadlocked. Politically, world-wise, just deadlocked. Refusing to engage with anyone who sees the world differently than us. Like I see it on social media this week and the last week, and it feels heavy. It feels harsh. And I'm like, when I was talking to my friend about it, and she was just talking to me and saying like, we've lost this art of agreeing to disagree. And I'm like, yeah, we have. And this approach to, if you don't agree with me, I'm going to cut you off, is creating so many fragments in our communities, in our friendships, and even in our families. I mean, I know I have been guilty of this, especially if you are a Duke fan. I'm quick to be like, I don't like you. I recognize it's not rational. I don't think I do it a lot with other parts of my life, but that's one space where I'm like, if you're not a UNC fan and you're a Duke fan, we aren't cool. Namaste. Have a good day. Sat Nam. But seriously, We've just lost this art. We're so trapped in the echo chambers that a conflicting viewpoint often sounds like static noise. Like, oh, we can't hear you. You aren't agreeing with me. I can't hear you. I have to change the channel. We're so quick to change that channel. But when we're able to see, experience, acknowledge, and respectfully witness someone who has a difference of opinion, isn't that where growth lies? In challenging our thought processes and having these debates. Like, as a poli-sci major, I love debating with people. And I felt like I could have these conversations, especially even when I lived in DC, and it didn't feel like, oh, I'm going to, I can't talk to you anymore. I'm cutting you off. You're blocked from all my social media. It was more like, okay, you feel this way. I feel this way. I can hear your point. I don't have to agree, but I can respectfully agree to disagree with you. And we can still be cool. We can still have that drink. We can still chuckle about other things. But our society is at a tipping point, y'all. We're at a tipping point where the consequences of canceling are far more severe than we realize. Because if you look where we're heading, because we're so busy to be like, oh, I believe this, I'm canceling this person. I believe that. And if you don't believe this, I'm canceling you that way. Canceling comes into what can be a war. It can be a deadlock in our government system. It's a hot mess, y'all. It's a hot, bloody mess. We're not just shutting down conversations. We're shutting people out of society, out of humanity. Like, what happens when we strip away someone's chance to learn and grow and repent? What happens to us when we're not giving ourselves this chance to grow? I don't know. Like, I like to be someone who's hopeful. I could be like Obama. I have hope. There's hope. I hope that we can revive this grace of agreeing to disagree. And here's why I really feel it's important. Like, if you feel like you're like, I don't understand why she's having this conversation. Agreeing to disagree teaches us resilience. Not just the kind that helps us weather a storm, but the kind that allows us to stand in the rain and negotiate with elements. It's about understanding that not every disagreement needs to be escalated into a battleground. Let me repeat that for those in the back room. It means that not every disagreement needs to escalate to a battleground. Being able to agree to disagree, it protects our mental space. Like, we're constantly being at odds with someone. It's going to be exhausting. It's okay to have those conversations, acknowledge the disagreement, and then let it go, because energetically, you're holding on to this hatred. You're holding on to this feeling of how dare they not be in agreement. And that shows up as dis-ease. It shows up as stress. It shows up as emotional problems. It shows up as high blood pressure. It shows up as anything you can think of that is something you don't want in your life. We need that peace of mind to function and thrive. But you can't get that when you're holding on to these feelings of, I'm right, you're wrong. And you have to stand on your ground that I'm right. And it's like you're always kind of waiting for someone to come at you with the wrong mentality. And if they disagree, it's like, okay, battle up, armor on. And that's not the way to live, because you're living in fight or flight. You're living in that sympathetic nervous system, not the parasympathetic nervous system. I don't know if I just got that wrong. I think I got that right. Some days I get them wrong. But you're not living in the one that keeps you calm down. Being able to agree to disagree, it paves the way for diversity. Diversity of thoughts, diversity of people, diversity of culture. And that's one of the main reasons why I love traveling, because I get to experience the differences that I don't see necessarily always in California or being in San Francisco. But imagining that if we lost the ability to respectfully appreciate these differences, what will life be like? Will we all just think the same way? Will there be so many wars that we don't know life without war anymore? That's something to think about. And it's not just the physical war that's killing people. It's the emotional wars that we battle with someone on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. I like a day where I'm not seeing a battle online that's emotionally triggering me. So I challenge you. I challenge myself. That's because it ain't just about you. I challenge myself too. How can we practice this art to agree to disagree? How can we practice the art of conversation with someone where we can agree to disagree? Not change their minds, but understand. Witness, acknowledge, listen, actively listen. To find where there might be a common ground, where we can let our humanity live. Maybe, just maybe, we'll remember that we're all just here on this journey together, just trying to get by. And that it's a little bit easier for all of us when we can get back to that art of agreeing to disagree. I know. Reflect on that. That's what I'm going to be thinking about this week, is just how can I do a better job of agreeing to disagree? I get that it's not easy because emotions get high and we feel passionate about what we feel passionate about. And I'm not telling you not to feel passionate about something. I know it's hard, but perhaps it's a crucial step towards healing our divided world, that we can take a moment to pause, breathe, and okay, I can respectfully listen to you and not feel like I have to change my mind. I can respectfully listen to you and hear you out, but not feel like I have to change my values. Until next time, y'all, let's keep the dialogue going, keeping our hearts open, and never underestimate the power of agreeing to disagree. I'll talk to you later. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.